hands. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So we were discussing on the fourth verse yesterday. Okay. Dadati pratigranati goyamakyati prichati punkte bhojayate chaiva shadvidhi priti lakshanam. Okay. So Rupa Goswami, the context of the verse was that how Rupa Goswami has been explaining to Jiva Goswami that this nectar of instruction is very, very important. And later, Radharaman Goswami also pointed out that it is for the Kalyana. Kalyan means auspiciousness, auspiciousness of all the living entities of this material world, and specifically for those who are sadhakas. Okay, all can benefit, but specifically for those who are sadhakas. So that was the context of whole NY being spoken by Rupa Goswami to specifically Jiva Goswami, and he told that how you should control your anger. वाचो वेगम मनसा क्रोध वेगम जीवा वेगम उदर उपस्थ वेगम हेतान वेगान यो विषहेत धीरा सर्वाम अपीपम पृथ्वीम सशिष्यात because Jiva Goswami wanted to instruct Vallabha Bhatt. Okay, so Rupa Goswami told that one should first control his own senses. Okay, and then he started the nectar of instruction. So that was the context of the whole book. And now we are currently discussing the fourth verse. So as you know, first verse was not even in the realm of the devotional service. It is just something general principle which every uh, sadhaka should follow. Okay, and it's not much to do with the nine limbs of bhakti. And then second and third verse are specifically speaking about do's and don'ts. Okay, what are the do's for sadhakas? What are the don'ts? And now we are discussing the fourth verse, which is the first verse in NOI, which is directly relating to the bhakti principle. Okay, directly relating to the association of devotee. Okay, so Prabhupada has mainly emphasized on this association of devotees in this purport. And then we are now concluding the last part of it. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, this point we were discussing yesterday, and also in question and answers it came that how even the invitations or gifts which are presented by Mayavadis or atheists to a devotee should be avoided. Why? Because Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha. So Prabhupada is very nicely speaking this principle. And before that, he gave a reference of also that very famous verse, Kevalam Vishavardhanam. What is that Vishavardhanam? Who is Vishavardhanam? Sarpa. Sarpat Vishavardhanam. Kevalam Sarpat Vishavardhanam. Like that. Okay. So Prabhupada gave these two references. Also, he quoted this verse that Avaishnava Mukhodgirnam Utam Hari Kathamritam Shravanam Naiva Kartavyam. Okay. So he is saying Shravanam Naiva Kartavyam. Why? Because even though it may be like milk, Sarpochishta Yathapaya. Yeah, that is the last. Sarpochishta Yathapaya. Because it is, even though Hari Katha, but if it is Mukha of a Vaishnava, then it is like the Amrit becomes Visha. So Prabhupada written a very nice statement. If a snake is given milk to drink, its poison simply increases. So the knowledge will increase the poison of the Mayavadis and Karmis. And then if we are associating with then Prabhupada is saying that it is best to completely avoid associating with them and never ask them about anything confidential because they cannot give good advice. Okay. So Prabhupada is saying association is something to do with asking or giving advice. Okay, it's not just sitting together. Okay, asking or giving advice. That's what Prabhupada is focusing here. So many times devotees have this notion, like yesterday also, devotees were asking that Prabhuji, yeah, sometimes we have to go to offices or we have to sit with people who are karmis, or sometimes we have to, for the social responsibility sake, basically we have to interact with them. So that is not defined here by Srila Prabhupada as association. He is saying that asking them something confidential or I would add is asking them the guidance about life, how to live our life like that. Okay. So that is Prabhupada is saying here as association. And as we have discussed earlier many times, that Rupa Goswami defines the principle of association of devotees using the phrase. Okay. So he uses three phrases basically Sajatiya, Snigdha, and Satovara. Correct. So we have explained it many times. So that is called association of devotee. That like-minded devotee, snigdha means there should be affection from that devotee, and satavaraha. Vara. Vara means one who is superior. Okay. So he is the devotee is Vara. He is more than us or he is higher than us. Then we take advice from them like that. Okay. And then Prabhupada concluded with this Chaitanya Charitamrita verse from Adi Leela 12.50. Okay. Vishaira anna khaile dushta man. When one eats food prepared by worldly people, one's mind becomes wicked. So he is quoting in the context of the atheists or Mayavadis. Okay. Like that. So we should not accept anything from them. Okay. And we discussed also the principle that how even uh, Srila Prabhupada sometimes did accept, but we have to see our capacity. Okay. If we are getting affected by such offerings, then we should avoid them. Okay. And it's very individual assessment. Yeah. So it's not a general rule. Okay. Every individual has to evaluate themselves. Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah. We'll discuss ahead. Yeah. So here Prabhupada has written that unless one is very advanced, okay, so he has used this phrase. Okay, unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize everyone's contribution to further the Krishna consciousness movement. So yesterday we discussed how for building our Balaji temple in ISKCON Pune, these Venkis they came. Venkis means they are the mass scale providers for chicken. Okay, so when they came to offer some donation for the Balaji, so His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj he very clearly said, if you are ready to give up this business, then we will take the donation. Now you give donation, but in future you should not be continuing the same business. Okay. So he is very clear that such kind of donations can be accepted if the person is ready to reform. And second thing is that Prabhupada is writing, unless one is very advanced, he is unable to utilize. So one has to see his own ability to utilize such funds or such contributions from Mayavadi or atheist. So that is the principle. Yeah. So now Prabhupada is concluding. He's saying the conclusion. Okay, maybe some devotee can read. Anish, would you like to read this slide?
Yes, Guruji. Sure. The conclusion is that we should always keep company with with devotees, observe the regulative devotional principles, follow in the footsteps of the acharyas, and in full obedience carry out the orders of the spiritual master. In this way, we shall be able to develop our devotional service and dormant Krishna consciousness. The devotee who is neither a neophyte nor a Mahabhagavata, a greatly advanced devotee, but is within the middle status of devotional service, is expected to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, make friends with the devotees, show favor to the ignorant, and reject the jealous and demoniac. Naresh. Raji, you're on mute, I think.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is speaking about these three types of devotees who are Kanishta, Madhyama, and Uttama. So that will be the topic of the next verse. The conclusion is that we should always keep company with devotees. Okay. So all these six items of exchange, whatever Rupa Goswami has described, should be done with devotees. Dadati, pratigrinati, giving and accepting. Correct. Bhunkte, bhojayate. Okay. Accepting eatables, giving eatables. Okay. So, guhyam akhyati prichyati. Confidential things. What akhyati or prichyati? Hmm. To speak or ask confidential topics. So that all should be done with devotees. That is the conclusion of this verse, Prabhupada is saying. Okay. And then he's saying, in this way, we shall be able to develop our devotional service and dormant Krishna consciousness. Okay. And this last part we will discuss more in the next verse. Okay. That three types of devotees. Okay. It will come. Yeah. And yeah, this already we pointed out yesterday. According to the Dadati principle, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50%. So many times this instruction is given to all the Grihastha devotees that you should at least spend 50%. But what he missed out is this advanced word. Prabhupada very clearly written, an advanced devotee is supposed to spend at least 50%. But it is in general told to everyone. Okay. Without seeing how much he is advanced, how much he is practicing Krishna consciousness, how many years. Okay. And as such, also as I told, Bhakti Rasamrit Swami Maharaj, he also mentioned that Prabhupada is mentioning here that service of the Lord. and his devotees. So that also is meant to be utilized at home. Okay, service to the Lord and devotees is not only in temple. Okay, even at home, service to the Lord or his devotees could be accomplished. So one can fix an amount to be given to temple and also fix an amount to be utilized at home for this purpose only. So it's not that as soon as the salary comes, 50% should be given to the temple. No, that is not what Prabhupada is speaking. Okay. So see, unless we ourselves read the books and understand what Prabhupada is trying to tell, we can keep hearing thousands of lectures and thousands of devotees. We will not actually understand what exactly we have to do. Okay. Because somewhere something detail will be missed out from them. Okay. So it's our responsibility to read the books and ourselves understand what Prabhupada is trying to tell me. Okay, Prabhupada has written all the books. It's very, very personal service to read them. What Prabhupada is trying to tell me to do. Okay. And how he wants me to understand the purpose. And then if we have some doubt, we can always approach Sajatiya, Snigdha, Satovara devotee. Okay, like that. And he gave the example of Rupa Goswami, that how Rupa Goswami himself followed this principle. It's not that only he's speaking that 50% you should give for a family, 25% you should keep for emergency, 25% for the relatives. No, he actually did it. Okay, then he is speaking. Yeah. So it is also told that, yeah, apariksha उपदिष्ट लोको नाशाय तद भवेत. अपरीक्षा मतलब किसकी परीक्षा नहीं की किसी ने. किसकी परीक्षा नहीं की? उपदिष्ट. उपदेश उपदेश किसी उपदेश की परीक्षा नहीं की तो क्या होता है? लोक नाशाय तद भवेत. भवेत मीन्स हैपेंस. व्हाट हैपेंस? लोक नाशाय. Destruction in the society happens. Okay. So Rupa Goswami is himself following all the principles mentioning in what he is mentioning in the Nectar of Instruction. And then after following them, he is speaking it for the benefit of all the living entities. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I will recite this verse. All of the devotees can keep their systems on mute. Okay. And you can recite them along with me. Okay. And also, I request devotees not to keep sending some chat messages in the chat box because create some distraction. If you have any questions, then I will give time. You can raise your hand and then you can ask the questions. Okay. So we'll recite the fifth verse. Okay. कृष्णेति यस्य गिरितं मनसा ध्रियेत दीक्षास्ति चेत् प्रणतिभिश्च भजन्तमीशं शुश्रूषया भजनविज्ञम् अनन्यमन्य निन्दादिशून्यहृदमीप्सित सङ्गलभ्या. Yeah. So Anishpru, somebody you can ask to read this.
Yes, Prabhuji. Amrish Pran Prabhuji, can you read?
Yes, bro. One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of the Lord of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisances to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others.
Yes, thank you, Proji. So you can see Prabhupada has three category of devotees in the translation which he is mentioning. So I'll point out each one. Okay, so here he is saying Krishna iti yasya giri tam manasa adriyata. Okay, very simple. If you know Hindi also very easily you can understand. Krishna iti. Okay, where is Krishna? Yasya giri, on whose tongue, or giri means throat also. Okay, so on whose tongue, what is there? Krishna. Okay, what we should do? Tam, that person. Manasa, from our mind, what we should do? Adriyeta, respect. Okay, this is the first category. Okay, on whose function of speech the Krishna word is there, for them we do mental respect, mentally honor. Okay, this is first category. Now second one, I'll just write it here. Okay, now second, diksha asti means happen. Okay, or has happened once. What has happened? Diksha. Then what? Chet, Chet means do. What we should do? Pranati. Pranati. Like we recite na Pranati mantras in the beginning. Okay. So we offer respects. Why? How we are offering respect? Pranati. By offering obeisances. Okay. Pranati bhihi cha. And what else he is doing? Bhajantam Isham. It's not that only he has taken initiation, but also he is doing Bhajantam Isham. He is doing bhajana. Bhajan means it can be referring to Smaranam, Kirtanam, all the nine limbs of bhakti. Okay. So basically, this is the representative. This is called Upalakshana. Upalakshana means one word represents all the other limbs. Okay, so this is Vedic principle where instead of mentioning all the items, only one item is mentioned, and then by Upalakshana, it is understood all other items are there. Okay, this is second category of devotee whose diksha has happened and he is doing bhajantam isham. Third, Shushrusha bhajan vigya ananyam anya nindadi sunya hirda ipsita sanga labdhya. Now, some acharyas have told actually there are four categories, but we will follow what Srila Prabhupada has told here. Prabhupada has mentioned there are only three category of devotees, so we'll take that. Okay. So, what is this third category? These devotees also are more advanced. They are doing what? They are doing bhajan vigya. They are doing bhajan, but what kind of bhajan they are doing? Vigya means actually knowledgeable. The person is in knowledge and then he is doing bhajan. Okay, he is vigya of the path. Okay, he is knowledgeable of the path of bhajan. Okay, but what is secondary qualification also? Ananyam. He is one pointed. So it is very, very important. Okay, this will be discussing. Please listen this carefully. So there are two qualifications mentioned for this third category of devotee in the third line. What is the first one? Bhajan Vigya. Means he should be having knowledge about the path of bhajan. Where is the path of bhajan mentioned? Path of bhajan is mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. Okay, mainly. Bhakti Sam Sindhu is our mainstay. That's how it's translated. Mainstay. Mainstay means the very, very foundational book where the path of bhajan is given by Rupa Goswami. That is the first qualification. Okay. Second is he should be Ananya. Okay. So this is 3A and this is 3B. Ananya. Ananya means what? Ananyata. Ananyata is the state in which the person is, see what Prabhupada has translated here. I will see undeviated. Okay. Undeviated devotional service. That is called ananyata. Okay. Undeviatedness. Okay. The ness is applied when the state is to be defined. So ananyata he has attained. Okay. And if the devotee is further advanced, then there is qualification mentioned as अन्य निंदा. मतलब अन्यों की निंदा. उसके बाद एक वर्ड लगाया आदि. अन्य निंदा आदि. Adi, what is the meaning of this Adi? So there is a verse in Hari Bhakti Vilas which says, Yo dveshti, hanti, nindanti. Okay, six activities are mentioned. Basically, one who hits a Vaishnava, or one who kills a Vaishnava, one who doesn't become pleased upon seeing a Vaishnava, are the six transgressions against a Vaishnava. Okay. So this person who is in third category, if he is the advanced to the furthest level, then he is doing what? Anya Ninda Adi Shunya. Okay, he is having the qualification of what? He is Shunya of something. Shunya of what? Anya Ninda. Okay, he doesn't criticize others. Okay, if you have found this third category of person, what we should do? Hridam, sorry, his heart is Sunya Ninda. Okay, his heart is free of all the criticism. Then what we should do? Ipsita. Ipsita means to desire. Okay, to desire. What we should desire? Sangha. Okay, of this third person. Ipsita Sangha. Labdhya. If it is attainable. Okay, this association should be desired if it is attainable. Very, very important. See, if you don't understand the verse properly, Hare Krishna. So some devotee I am seeing they have kept their videos on, but they are laughing, smiling, talking. Pavan Kumar Prabhu and Shanmukh Rai Sai Ram Prabhu. So kindly pay your attention if you are having some chatting and all. So kindly keep your videos off. No problem, but it is distracting. Okay. Yeah. So here he's saying that this third category of devotee. Okay. What we should do? We should ipsita sangha labdhya. If it is attainable, then we should desire their association. Sometimes they are present, we are present, but that association may not be available. Okay. Then it's not that we don't take the association of anybody else. So we should find an appropriate person who is whose association is available, but at the same time, we are also desiring their association. Both the qualifications should be fulfilled here. Okay. That is a complete translation of this verse. Okay. So now we will go to the Prabhupada's purport and understand what Prabhupada is saying. Yes, Pavan Kumar, please read. Yeah.
Swarupa Siddha Bhakti 7. We should respectfully offer pranama to those
Okay,
who
okay, okay,
have
okay.
accepted in.
Okay, it looks like you are somewhere in a noisy place. Okay, yeah. So no problem. Somebody else can read. And when possible, next time, please be in a place which is distraction free. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Anish Bro, somebody you can choose to read who has not participated in the classes. Yeah.
Vrajapati Gopinath, can Mataji read?
Yeah. They have raised hand. Yes. Are you able to hear?
You're muted, Vrajapati.
Uh, Who I'm mute.
Nee,
Sorry, bro.
Vrajapati.
This verse gives instruction on
Can
Swarupa.
Mataji read if possible? Because she hasn't read it.
This is different ones. Okay, sorry.
You can read from book also, Mataji, no problem. You can
But
take
it
the
is
book
book.
different. Huh? Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah, what has happened? This is Upadesh Prakashika Tika. So, okay, just give me 1 minute. Huh? I'll go to Prabhupada's purport and we will read Prabhupada's translation. Sorry, not translation, purport. Is it okay, Mataji? No?
Yes.
Yes, please read.
In order to intelligently apply the sixfold loving reciprocations mentioned in the previous verse, one must select proper person with careful discrimination. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore advises that we should meet with the Vaishnavas in an appropriate way, according to their particular status. In this verse, he tells us how to deal with the three types of devotees: the Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Uttamadhikari. The Kanishtadhikari is a neophyte who has received the Harinama initiation from the spiritual master and trying to chant the holy name of Krishna. One should respect such a devotee within his mind as a Kanishtadhikari. A Madhyamadhikari has received a spiritual initiation from the spiritual master and has been fully engaged by him in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The Madhyamadhikari should be considered to be situated midway in devotional service. The Uttamadhikari or highest devotee is the one who is very advanced in the devotional service. A Uttamadhikari is not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean and he has attained the realized state of unalloyed Krishna consciousness. According to Sri Rupa Goswami, the association and service of such Mahabhagavata or perfect Vaishnava are most desirable. One should not remain a Kanishtadhikari, one who is situated on the lowest platform of devotional service and is interested only in worshipping the deity in the temple. Such a devotee is described in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.47. Acharyameva Harye Pujyam Yah Shraddhaye Hati Nat Tad Bhakteshu Cha Sabhakta Prakrita Smrita. A person who is very faithfully engaged in the worship of the deity in the temple but who does not know how to behave towards devotees or people in general are called Prakrita Bhakta or Kanishtadhikari. One therefore has to rise himself from the position of Kanishtadhikari to the platform of Madhyamadhikari. The Madhyamadhikari is described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Ishvare tada adineshu बालिसेषु दैवसत्सु Satsusha, Prema Maitri,
Kripa.
Krupopeksha,
Upeksha.
Kripa Upeksha,
Hmm.
Yah Karoti Cha Madhyama.
Madhyama.
The Madhyamadhikari is the devotee who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the highest object of love, makes friends with the Lord's devotees, is a merciful to the ignorant, and avoids those who are envious by nature. This is the way to cultivate the devotional service properly. Therefore,
Yeah. I think that is sufficient, Mataji. Yeah, we'll discuss. Thank you. Yeah. So, Prabhupada is beginning the purport with very important line in order to intelligently apply. So, this is very, very important word. So many times we hear that intelligence is not to be used in Krishna consciousness, just do what is told. But Prabhupada is not saying like that. And further also it comes that how one should be independently thoughtful. Okay. So basically what Prabhupada is meaning is that one should understand the meaning of the Shastra. That's called Shastra Yukti. And after one understands the meaning of the Shastras, gets it confirmed from the superior devotees. And one should use the instruction of Shastra as per the time, place, and circumstance, and as per his adhikar. Okay. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. That's why he is explaining these three kinds of devotees. One should intelligently apply. What he should intelligently apply? The instruction given in the verses previous, future, and the current. Okay. So he is saying what? The sixfold loving reciprocation mentioned in the previous verse, one must select proper persons with careful discrimination. So it's not that it said that uh, one should respect the person as per his advancement. Okay. So sakala sammana korite sakati deho natha yatha yatha taveta paiba Harinama Sukha, Aparada Habe Hatha. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is singing. Okay, Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. So he is singing this that Sakala Sammana Korite Sakati. Let me do respect, let me give respect to everyone. Okay, give me strength for this. And then Deho Natha Yatha Yatha means to the degree of their advancement, let me give the respect as per their advancement. So there is a book, very nice book called Krishna Bhajanamrit. Okay, there Srila Narhari Chakravarti Thakur. Okay, he is giving one example. He gives one example, very beautiful example. What he says that one should respect his spiritual master just like one respects his father, and one should respect the spiritual master in the double order of respect, just like one respects a grandfather more than the father. Okay. So, like that, he is showing that what kind of discrimination we have to apply in respect, giving respect also. So, that's a very nice book. Some devotees, if they want, they are interested, they can read that book. So, he says, just like in a family, there are uncle, and there is father, and there is grandfather, and there is maybe great grandfather in some earlier days. So, uh, the respect should be doubled basically for each generation, like that he says the principle. So yeah, point is one should intelligently apply the instructions given and be careful in discriminating the level of the devotion they have and respect accordingly. Okay, so it's not for discriminating to understand that how they are having so many faults. No, that is not the purpose is to discriminate so that we can give them better respect. Okay, and how do we understand whom to give better respect? So that is the verse itself speaking. The first person, if you see Krishna iti yasigiri, on whose tongue there is Krishna word, we give the respect as due to the Kanishtadhikari. Then second level, Rupa Goswami is showing the characteristics. So we have to see the characteristics of the person. Diksha iti, once whose Diksha has happened, and Krishna iti yasigiritam manasadriyata jikshasti chet pranatibhi bhajantam isham. And he is doing also bhajan of the person. So there are discriminating factors already given by Rupa Goswami that the person is applying. Okay. And then giving proper respect. Yeah. So yeah. So he has described about these three level of devotees. So the definition is taken from the Srimad Bhagavatam by Rupa Goswami. So first definition is from the, yeah, obviously there are three verses, 11th canto, second chapter, 47th. Yeah. So it's spoken by King Nimi. Okay. So he says, First definition, Archa ayam eva hareye. Okay. So one who is doing pujam, yah shraddhaya ihate. One who is doing puja, of whom? Archa. Whose Archa? Hareye. Okay. The deity of the Lord is being worshipped by this person. How? Shraddhaya, with faith. Okay. These factors should be there. Okay. But na tad bhakteshu. He is not doing something. Bhakteshu cha anyeshu and others. He is not doing this respectfulness for others. But he is doing to the Lord. Archayam eva hare pujam yah shraddhaya ihate. For that person, what we have to understand? Prakritaha, smritaha. Prakrita is not non-devotee. He is worshipping the Lord. Na? Which Lord? He is not worshipping demigod. He is worshipping Hare, the Supreme Lord only. So he is not a non-devotee because here Prabhupada has translated him as materialistic devotee. Okay. So one should not understand that he is materialistic person, but his devotion has not become fully spiritual. That is understanding. Okay. He is having faith. So if you remember previous class, somebody asked the question about Kanishtha. So I had showed the definition from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Okay. The only thing is he having Komal Shraddha. Komal Shraddha means weak faith. Not that his faith is impure, but faith is weak. That much only. Hmm. So that person is called as Prakritaha. So unrefined. Okay. That is also another translation. He is not yet fully refined. And then next he is saying the definition for Madhyamadikari. So that is also the next verse. Ishware tad adhineshu. See, the devotee as well is coming in this. Previously, it was not there. In the Kanishtadikari, the devotee was not in picture. Only Hare was there in picture. Now, Ishware as well as tad adhineshu. The person who are subordinate to that Ishwara. Who are they? They are devotees. And who else? Bali Sheshu. So that is innocent person. Okay, means they never came in touch with devotional service. Okay, and they were never taught about this devotional service like that. Okay, and Dusha. Dusha. Dusha means envious. Dushastuscha, prema, maitri, kripa, upeksha. So these four types of people, we have to do four types of discrimination and four types of reciprocation. So Ishware, prema. Tad adhineshu, means devotees, maitri. Balisheshu, innocent, kripa. We should show mercy on them by giving them Mahaprasad, by increasing their sukriti, bhakti sukriti, so that they will take up to devotional service. And Dvisha, envious. What we have to do? Upeksha. Upeksha, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has explained in very nice way. There is a book called Vaishnava Ninda. This Vaishnava Ninda book explains only about this one aspect. Okay, that how devotees are criticized and what is not considered as criticism of devotees. Vaishnava Ninda, what it is and what it is not. So that's a very nice book. Maybe sometime you can read. Okay, the whole book is describing only that one principle. What is Vaishnava Ninda? So he has explained in that book that Dvisha, we have to do upeksha. Upeksha does not mean that we have to blaspheme them, but he says that we can just pray for them that let the Lord give them devotional service. Okay, one should not show compassion like one shows to Balisha. One should not go and preach to them. Obviously, we are not at the level of Nityanand Prabhu who can go to Jagai Madai and do preaching for them. But we are at the Madhyama, has here uh, the verse is saying. For them, it is upeksha. They should avoid their association. Avoid association means again same thing. One should not do dadati prati grinati, vyamakhyati prichati, bhunkte bhojayate. All these six exchanges. That is understanding. Yeah. And then, yeah. Yeah, one more definition is going to come. We will read that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we have to read from here. From this slide?
Yes, Guruji.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, Anish Prabhu, who is reading?
Gurmeet Mataji. Mhm.
We can see from practical experience that there are different types of Vaishnavas. The Prakata Sahajas generally chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, yet they are attached to women, money, and intoxication. Although such persons may chant the holy name of the Lord, they are not yet properly purified. Such people should respect within one's mind, but their association should be avoided. Those who are innocent but simply carried away by bad association
Oops.
should
1 minute. Yeah. Please read.
in this Krishna consciousness movement, a chance is given everyone without discrimination of caste, creed, or color. Everyone is invited to join this movement, sit with us, take prasad, and hear about Krishna. When we see that someone is actually interested in Krishna consciousness and wants to be initiated, we accept him as a disciple for the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. When a neophyte devotee is actually initiated and engaged in devotional service by the orders of spiritual master, he should be accepted immediately as a bona fide Vaishnava, and obeisances should be offered unto him. Out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very serious, and seriously engaged in the service of the Lord and strictly following all the regulative principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds on japa beads, and always thinking of how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. Such a Vaishnava should be accepted as an Uttam Adhikari, a highly advanced devotee, and his association should always be sought. This is the way to cultivate devotional service properly. Therefore, in
Hare
this
Krishna.
verse,
No, no. Sorry, I was on mute. I didn't know. So, I'm saying that Prabhupada has already explained what is the definition of a Madhyamadhikari and Kanishtadhikari. And now he is explaining how to apply that definition. So he is saying this is the way to cultivate devotional service properly. What is the way? So you see previous verse, what he has quoted. Prema Maitri Kripa Upeksha. Doing these four activities with the appropriate person is the way to cultivate devotional service. Okay. So therefore, in this verse, Rupa Goswami advises us to treat how to treat various devotees. Okay. That's how he is saying that respect, but respect with the understanding what is their level of advancement. We don't have to disrespect anyone, but we have to respect somebody more. That is the point. Yeah. So he is saying now example. Practical experience is that there are different types of Vaishnavas also. First example is giving Prakrita, Sahajiyas. Okay. So Prakrita Sahajiya is the same as Sahajiya, but here he is saying the specific type is that they chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra only, but yet they are attached to these materialistic opulences like money, intoxication, women. Okay, basically illicit sex like that. Yeah, just 1 minute. Yeah. So although such persons may chant the holy name of the Lord, they are not yet properly purified. Why? Because here, see what Prabhupada has. Okay, he has not quoted that. Okay, but generally quotes that Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatrikim Vidhim Vina. Okay, Ekante Rare Bhakti Utpat Eva Kalpate. Yeah, that verse he quotes generally. If you hear the lectures, Prabhupada quotes that verse. That this is a bhakti, surely it is a limb of bhakti, chanting the holy names. But Shruti Smriti Purana Adi and Pancharatra, four types of scriptures. They are mentioning some vidhi. But what these people have done? Vidhim Vina. They have given up such vidhi. But what they are doing? Ekantika Harer Bhakti. but they are trying to do Hari Bhakti without the reference to scriptures. Then Utpata Eva Kalpate. They will create only disturbance in the society. So now Prabhupada is bringing out, okay, such people should be respected in the mind. Okay. Means he is not saying even to disrespect them. Should be respected in one's mind only. And their association should be avoided. Okay. So their association should be avoided. So these are the category of people who are the first category, Kanistha, or we can say Prakrita devotees. And now he is going to the next category. Basically, now he is saying about the Madhyamadhikaris. So the first one, he is saying about the Balisha, innocent. So what is the characteristics? Those who are innocent, but simply they are carried away by bad association, should be shown favor if they are eager to receive proper instructions. Okay. So there are two things Prabhupada has mentioned here, very important. So if they are just getting carried away, means they want to practice bhakti, but because of bad association, they are getting carried away. So what he is saying, we should give them instructions only if they are eager to receive. So Chaitan Charan Prabhu gives a very nice example. He says that you may have the box of salt. You have seen that salt is sprinkle. We sprinkle salt with that, no? So we may have that. So we cannot just open the full box and give in the plate. Okay. How much the person needs and what is the taste of his tongue, to that degree we have to give the salt, we have to serve the salt. So the principle is, if the person is eager to a certain extent, to that extent we have to give him the proper instructions. Okay, that is called Balisha. But those neophyte devotees were actually initiated. Now he is going to the second category mentioned in the verse. Okay, that is higher compared to these innocent people, because they have not yet come into bhakti. Okay, means they are not fully there. So what he's saying, who are actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master and are seriously engaged in carrying out the orders of the spiritual master, should be offered respectful obeisance. Dikshasti cheta pranatibhi bhajantam isham. Yeah. Yeah. Now see the last line. Yeah. When a neophyte devotee is actually, neophyte devotee means Prabhupada uses that for Kanishta Adhikari. He is actually initiated, means he becomes Madhyama Adhikari and engaged in devotional service by the order of spiritual master. So very important point. It's not that all those who are not initiated are Kanishta and all those who are initiated are Madhyama Adhikaris. No, that is not the criteria Prabhupada is trying to say. Okay. But we have to also see the secondary criteria. Bhajantam Isham. Okay, what Rupa Goswami has mentioned. So it may happen sometime that the Kanishta Adhikari, the person is not yet initiated, but he is doing Bhajantam Isham. He is doing bhajan of the Lord. Then he should not be kept in the same category of Kanishta Adhikari who are just Krishnetiya Sigiritam. Or Prakrit Sajias. So we have to understand not the letter of the law, but the spirit of the law. So letter of the law would be, yeah, see, this is initiated, this is not initiated. So he is Kanishta, he is Madhyama. No, that would be the very external view of the person. But we have to also see the characteristics and the quality of the person. So that's here it is said, Dikshasti Chet Pranatibhi Bhajantam Isham. The bhajan the person is doing, then he has qualified to come to the Madhyama level. Okay. He is not just once in a while chanting Hare Krishna. He has taken a vow and he is regularly chanting, okay, or trying to chant regularly like that. So he is saying, so when an neophyte devotee is actually initiated and engaged in devotional service by the order of the spiritual master, he should be accepted immediately as a bona fide Vaishnava and obeisance should be offered unto him. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think we have to read from here now. Yeah. Somebody else can read.
Avinash Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged in the service of the Lord and strictly following all the regulatory principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds on japa beads, and always thinking of how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. Such a Vaishnava should be accepted as an Uttam Adhikari, a highly advanced devotee, and his association should always be sought.
Yes. I think we'll read 2, 3 more slides and then discuss. Yeah. Please read, Praji.
Yes, Prabhuji. The process by which a devotee becomes attached to Krishna is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Anta Lila 4.192. Dikshakale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpana Sai kale Krishna tare kare atma sama. At the time of initiation, when a devotee fully surrenders to the service of the Lord, Krishna accepts him to be as good as he himself. Diksha or spiritual initiation is explained in the Bhakti Sandarbha 283 by Srila Jiva Goswami. Divyabdhanam yato datyat kuryat papasya
Samshaya.
samshayam
हाँ,
samshayam
yeah, that is spelling
tasmat
mistake. Samshaya. Yeah.
samshayam tasmat diksheti sa prokta te sikai satvako vidai. By Diksha, one gradually becomes disinterested in material enjoyment and gradually becomes interested in spiritual life.
Okay. Yeah. Read this.
We have seen many practical examples of this, especially in Europe and America. Many students who come to us from rich and respectable families quickly lose all interest in material enjoyment and become very eager to enter into spiritual life. Although they come from very wealthy families, many of them accept living conditions that are not very comfortable. Indeed, for Krishna's sake, they are prepared to accept any living condition as long as they can live in the temple and associate with the Vaishnavas. When one becomes so disinterested in material enjoyment, he becomes fit for initiation by the spiritual master. For the advancement of spiritual life, Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1.113 prescribes tapasya brahmacharena
Yeah.
samena cha damena cha. When a person is serious about accepting Diksha, he must be prepared to practice austerity, celibacy, and control of the mind and body. If one is so prepared and is desirous of receiving spiritual enlightenment, Divyam Jnanam, he is fit for being initiated.
Thank you, Praj. Yeah. So here, yeah. Now, Prabhupada is describing about the third.
Out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to
No,
be
no, no.
very seriously engaged in the service of the Lord and
No,
strictly
no.
following all the
Prabhuji, we have
regulations
already read this, Prabhuji. We already read.
of
I
the
am
number
going
of
to
rounds.
explain. Hare Krishna. Am I audible or not?
Yes,
Yes, yes, you are audible.
You are
Yeah.
audible.
yes, so yes, so
Yeah. So this third category of devotees. Okay. Now Prabhupada begin to explain. Out of many such Vaishnavas, see, the statement begins like this. Out of many such Vaishnavas, which such Vaishnavas? What was explained till now? First and second. So there will be some Vaishnavas out of this first and second category who are advanced sufficiently to qualify for the third category. Okay, so here he is saying out of many such Vaishnavas, one may be found to be very seriously engaged, or yeah, one means not person, one number, but here he is pointing out the category of the person. Okay, one may be found to be very seriously engaged. Okay, what is this translation? Seriously engaged. Can somebody point out in the verse what is the word Prabhupada is translating here in this line? Where is the word seriously engaged mentioned in the verse?
Ananyam.
Ah, yes, Ananyam. Okay, he is Ananya in the service of the Lord and strictly following all the regulative principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds on japa beats and always thinking of how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement. So such a Vaishnava should be accepted as an Uttama Adhikari. Okay. And then further, he is saying that a highly advanced devotee, such a okay, yeah, a highly advanced devotee and his association should be sought. So where is this word mentioned in the verse? Association should be sought.
Rhythmipsita Sangalapya.
Sangalabdhya.
Sangha Labdhya. Correct. Association should be actually Ipsita is the word for sought, desire. One should desire what? Such devotees association, Sangha Labdhya. Yeah. And then he is quoting from Antelila, 4th chapter, 192. Diksha kale bhakt kare atma samarpan, sahi kale Krishna tare kare atma sama. Means Krishna makes a person as good as himself by accepting him when Diksha kale, at the time of initiation. Yeah, so there may be some devotees, as I told earlier, they may not be initiated yet, but they are aspiring from certain guru or they are waiting for their initiation also. And they may be chanting with that consciousness. So Prabhupada has many times told, like Prabhupada himself initiated after 11 years. 1922 he met Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. 1933 he was initiated. So for Prabhupada himself, he took 11 years to get initiated. So we should not not criticize in the sense, but we should not consider those who are aspiring for initiation and they are serious to be something which is equivalent to those who have just come into bhakti. Okay. So that discrimination also is very important, even though both are not initiated. Just like a person passes with 33 marks and person passes with 99 marks, both are pass only, but both are not same. Both have different future prospects. Okay, na? So we have to understand the spirit of the law also. Yeah. So yeah, and here Prabhupada is giving this example of how hippies are taking up to bhakti by the process of Krishna consciousness. Hmm. So that is the way to transform Kanishta to Uttama and Kanishta to Madhyama and Madhyama to Uttama, like that. Okay, this is the example Prabhupada is given. Um, okay, let's read ahead. Uh, yeah, yeah, from here. Yeah, who would like to read?
Yeah, Gaurani Mataji.
Yeah. Free Gaurang Mataji.
When one becomes so disinterested in material enjoyment, he becomes fit for initiation by the spiritual master. For the advancement of spiritual life, Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1.13 prescribes tapasa brahmacharyena shamena cha damena cha. When a person is serious about accepting Diksha, he must be prepared to practice austerity, celibacy, and control of the mind and body. If one is so prepared and is desirous of receiving spiritual enlightenment, Divyam Jnanam,
Yeah,
okay,
continues.
he is fit for being initiated.
Yeah, two more slides. Yeah, yes, Mataji.
Divyam Jnanam is technically called Tad Vijnana or knowledge about the Supreme. Tad Vijnanartham sa eva vigachet. What is MU, Prabhuji? Sorry.
Actually, that is Mundaka Upanishad. They write in short MU. Yeah.
1 to 12. When one is interested in the transcendental subject matter of the absolute truth, he should be initiated. Such a person should approach a spiritual master in order to take Diksha. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.21 also prescribes Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. When one is actually interested in the transcendental science of the absolute truth, he should approach a spiritual master. One should not accept a spiritual master without following his instructions, nor should one accept a spiritual master just to make a fashionable show of spiritual life. One must be jigyasu, very much inquisitive to learn from the bona fide spiritual master. The inquiries one makes should strictly pertain to transcendental science. Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. The word Uttamam refers to that which is above material knowledge.
Yeah.
Tama means the darkness of this material world and Ut means transcendental. Generally, people are very interested in inquiring about mundane subject matters. But when one has lost such interest and is simply interested in transcendental subject matters, he is quite fit for being initiated. When one is actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master, and when he seriously engages in the service of the Lord, he should be accepted as a Madhyam Adhikari.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah. So Prabhupada is giving the example of hippie, and then he's making a important point here. Yeah. Says when one becomes so disinterested in material enjoyment, he becomes fit for initiation. So what he has told here, see previous point. Although they come from very wealthy families, many of them accept living conditions that are not very comfortable. Means they are able to value something apart from their wealthy condition. Okay, that is the path of bhakti. Okay, so we can see Prabhupada Lilamrit when we read here, that time we can see how these initial devotees they actually struggled so much for distributing books and creating big temples, which we may be having now in Vrindavan, in Mayapur, and in Juhu specifically, where Prabhupada himself struggled so much, correct? Radharas Bihari temple. So initially, actually, there were a lot of troubles. Yeah. And Prabhupada is saying, and they were all from wealthy families, but they could give up. And there are so many incidents where people, devotees living in Mayapur, had such tough times, basically. It was nothing but just, open land. Okay. And there were attacks from Muslims like that. So Prabhupada is saying they are able to understand the value of Krishna consciousness. And then he is saying, see here. Okay. 1 minute, I'm getting one important call. Hare Krishna. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Prabhupada is saying about the initiation now. So who is supposed to take initiation? So someone when he becomes so disinterested in the wealth and money and gives himself to service of Krishna, then such a person becomes fit for initiation. Okay. For the advancement of spiritual life. So that is told here in Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1.13. Tapsa brahmacharyena shamena cha damena cha. When a person is serious about accepting Diksha, he must be prepared to practice austerity, celibacy, and control the mind and body. Okay. And very important point now, Prabhupada is saying who should be going to take initiation. See here. When one is interested in transcendental subject matter. Many times Prabhupada says in his lecture that one should not be asking his guru questions like questions pertaining to material life, basically, which don't have any connection with spiritual life. Obviously, for devotees, many of the material aspects also support in spiritual life, but one should understand that there are different professional people. Like somebody has some disease, and he should not go to guru and ask which medicine should I take, or should I follow allopathy, should I follow Ayurvedic, should I follow homeopathy, naturopathy, what? Okay, that is not his business. His business is what Tasmat Grum Prapadyate Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. To answer the questions which is relevant to the Shreya of the disciple. Okay. And what kind of Shreya? Uttamam. Uttama Shreya means highest benefit. See what Prabhupada is translated here. When one is interested in the transcendental subject matter of the absolute truth, okay, then he should be initiated. Like that he's saying. Such a person should approach spiritual master. Okay. तद विज्ञान अर्थम, उस विज्ञान के अर्थ के लिए क्या करना चाहिए? सगुरुम, उस व्यक्ति को गुरुम, गुरु के पास एव अभिगच्छेत, ही ओनली अभिगच्छेत, जाना चाहिए. ऐसा, like this Prabhupada is quoting from Mundak Upanishad. And then he is concluding, when one is actually interested in transcendental science of absolute truth, he should approach a spiritual master. Okay. And now these positive things. And who should not approach? He is saying one should not approach, one should not accept a spiritual master without following his instructions. So if one is not going to follow the instruction of spiritual master, then why to accept? Why to waste our time and their time? Correct now. Like that. So Prabhupada many times gives example, like if you want to learn anything, you want to learn music, you have to listen to the guru to learn it. So why not in spiritual life? Okay, nor should one accept a spiritual master just to make a fashionable show of spiritual life. Okay. One must be jigyasu. What kind of inquiries he should make? He should make inquiries which are pertaining to transcendental science. So that is defined as jigyasu shreya uttama. Hmm, like that. Yeah, please read. Yeah, this point.
You
Tama
make
means okay.
go ahead,
Right,
Prabhu.
buddy.
Sorry.
Yeah, Tama means the darkness of this material world, and Ut means transcendental. Generally, people are very interested in inquiring about mundane subject matters. But when one has lost interest and is simply interested in transcendental subject matters, he is quite fit for being initiated. When one is actually initiated by a bona fide spiritual master and when he seriously engages in the service of the Lord, he should be accepted as a Madhyamadikari. The chanting of the holy names of Krishna is so sublime that if one chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra offenselessly, carefully avoiding the 10 offenses, he can certainly be gradually elevated to the point of understanding that there is no difference between the holy name of the Lord and the Lord Himself. One who has reached such an understanding should be very much respected by neophyte devotees. One should know for certain that without chanting the holy name of the Lord offenselessly, one cannot be a proper candidate for advancement in Krishna consciousness. Sri Chaitan, in Sri Chaitan Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.69, it is said, Yahara Komala Shraddha Sekanishta Jana Krame Krame Teno Bhakta Habayu Tama. One whose faith is soft and palliable is called a neophyte. But by gradually following the process, he will rise to the platform of a first class devotee. Everyone begins his devotional life from the neophyte stage. But if one properly finishes chanting the prescribed number of rounds of Harinam, he is elevated step by step to the highest platform, Uttam Adhikari. The Krishna consciousness movement prescribes 16 rounds daily because people in the Western countries cannot concentrate for long periods while chanting on beats. Therefore, the minimum number of rounds is prescribed. However, Sri Bhakti Swami Thakur used to say that unless one chants at least 64 rounds of japa, 100,000 names, he is considered fallen, that's patita. According to his calculation, practically every one of us is fallen. But because we are trying to serve Supreme Lord with all seriousness and without duplicity, we can expect the mercy of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is famous as Patit Pavan, the deliverer of the fallen. When Srila Satraj Khan, a great devotee of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, asked the Lord how a Vaishnava could be recognized, the Lord replied, प्रभु कहे यार मुखे सोनी एक बार Krishna Nama Sai Puja Shrestha Sabakara. If one hears a person say even once the word Krishna, that person should be accepted as the best man out of the common group. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. अतएव यार मुखे एक कृष्ण नाम सहित वैष्णव कहिरिहा तहारा सम्मान. One who is interested in chanting the holy name of Krishna or who by practice likes to chant Krishna's name should be accepted as a Vaishnav and offered respects as such, at least within one's mind. One of our friends, a famous English musician, has become attracted to chanting the holy names of Krishna. And even in his records, he has several times mentioned the holy name of Krishna. At his home, he offers respects to picture of Krishna and also to the preachers of Krishna consciousness. In all regards, he has a very high estimation for Krishna's name and Krishna's activity. Therefore, we offer respects to him without reservation. For we are actually seeing that this gentleman is advancing gradually in Krishna consciousness. Such a person should always be shown respect. The conclusion is that one who is trying to advance in Krishna consciousness by regularly chanting the holy name should always be respected by Vaishnavas. On the other hand, we have witnessed that some of our contemporaries who are supposed to be great preachers have gradually fallen into the material conception of life because they have failed to chant the holy name of the Lord. While giving instructions to Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided devotional service into three categories. शास्त्र युक्ति नहीं जाने दृढ़ श्रद्धावान मध्यम अधिकारी सही महाभाग्यवान. A person whose conclusive knowledge of the Shastras is not very strong, but who has developed firm faith in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and who is also underrated in the execution of his prescribed devotional service, should be considered a Madhyam Adhikari. Such a person is very fortunate. A Madhyam Adhikari is a Shraddhavan, a staunchly faithful person, and he is actually a candidate for further advancement in devotional service. Therefore, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, श्रद्धावान जन है भक्ति अधिकारी उत्तम मध्यम कनिष्ठ श्रद्धा अनुसारी. One becomes qualified as a devotee on the elementary platform, the intermediate platform, and the highest platform of devotional service according to the development of his Shraddha, that is faith. Again, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, श्रद्धा शब्दे विश्वास कहे सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्ण भक्ति कैला सर्व कर्मकृत हय. By rendering transcendental service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. This confident, firm faith, favorable to discharge of devotional service, is called Shraddha. Shraddha, faith in Krishna, is the beginning of Krishna consciousness. Faith means strong faith. The words of Bhagavad Gita are authoritative instructions for faithful men, and whatever Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita is to be accepted as it is without interpretation. This was the way Arjuna accepted Bhagavad Gita. After hearing Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna told Krishna, Sarvametam Ratam Manye Yanmam Padasi Keshava. O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Yes. This is Bhagavad Gita 10.14. Yeah. So now again Prabhupada is explaining the three types of devotees, but from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we already discussed that, and we will not discuss that part. Yeah. So here we started. Yeah. So Prabhupada told about three category of devotees here already, and now he's saying Uttama, that word he is describing. Tama means darkness. So one who is crossed that. So when one is actually initiated by bona fide spiritual, actually initiated, not externally initiated. So this is very important. He is actually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master. And when
What is the
he's,
difference, Prabhu? Actually initiated means.
yeah, Prabhupada is saying here, when he seriously engages, actually initiated means serious engagement in devotional service. He is serious about devotional service. Otherwise, there may be devotees who are initiated but not serious in their service. Service means not only service means which is in the temple, 1 hour per week or 2 hours per week. Service means doing their sadhana, they are serious. Any limb of bhakti, that whatever they are getting opportunity to do, they are taking it seriously. Even serving their family is part of their devotional service. That also they do seriously. Even taking care of children, cleaning the home, washing the utensils, all these things are devotional service. They all are taken very seriously by these devotees. Okay. It's not only chanting, reading, hearing. And sometimes service is thought of only which is in the temple. So that is also not. Yeah. So any
One
limb
more.
of service, they are getting opportunity, they are serious. Yes.
Yeah, in initial purport also Prabhupada is mentioning in the starting of the purport, Harinam initiated and what spiritual initiated for Madhyamadikari. That also I have some doubt. In the initial purport, Prabhupada is mentioning.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that. Yeah. So he should be accepted as Madhyamadikari. Okay. Who? One who is actually initiated. Means he is serious in service. So what kind of service? So are you able to see my screen when one is actually initiated? That yeah. Okay. So he should be accepted as Madhyamadikari. Yeah. So why this Prabhupada is saying? He is saying about because Dikshasti Chet Pranadip is Bhajantam Isham. He is doing bhajan of the Isha. No? So then he is considered serious. Because if one is only initiated but no bhajan is going on of the Lord, then one is not considered as serious or actually initiated. Yeah. So now, yeah, neophyte. Yeah. So you should respect your neophyte devotees. Yeah. One should know for certain what that without chanting the holy name of the Lord offenselessly, one cannot be proper candidate for advancement in Krishna consciousness. Means one cannot become Uttamadhikari if one is chanting with offenses. Okay, and what is offenseless chanting? Offenseless chanting. Now, Prabhupada is speaking from Chaitanya Charitamrita, quoting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so what he is saying? Three types of devotees: Madhyama, Uttama, and Kanishta, and uh, that we have already discussed. Yeah, 64 rounds. Yeah, but we are all trying. That Prabhupada said. Mm. And then George Harrison example he is giving. Yeah, now here see the conclusion is that anyone who is trying to advance in Krishna consciousness by regularly chanting. Okay, regularly chanting 16 rounds or whatever vow he has taken, the holy name should always be respected by Vaishnavas. Okay, they may not be even initiated duly, but they should be respected by Vaishnavas. Okay, yeah, and then another example on the other side, there are people who are initiated and Babaji they are falling down because they are not properly situated. Yeah, and this we have discussed many times. Shastra Yukti Nahi Jane Drida Shraddhavan. What is the definition of Madhyamadikari? So this is the definition of Madhyamadikari from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, 22.67. Yeah. And this is Kanishtadhikari. One becomes qualified as a devotee on the elementary platform, the intermediate platform, and the highest platform of devotionary according to the development of his faith. How much the person has gained faith? Okay. So it's see, faith we cannot see externally. It is internal. But we can see the faith manifesting in different ways in the person. Okay. That how the person is accepting the principles of Krishna consciousness. Okay. Uh, yeah, time is up. Okay. Okay. So how a person is accepting the principles of Krishna consciousness seriously in his life. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, this is a very famous statement of Srila Prabhupada. Faith means strong faith. Basically, this is not his own statement. This statement of the scriptures only, where it says that uh, श्रद्धा शब्दे विश्वास को है सुदृढ़ निश्चय कृष्ण भक्ति कैले सर्व कर्म कृत है सुदृढ़ निश्चय fixed determination. What is fixed determination? That only by doing bhakti, no jnana, no karma required, everything will be fulfilled. That is the definition of shraddha. By doing bhakti, everything will be fulfilled. That the person has faith. He is not going to do any jnana or karma. Here, the person is not saying that, oh, he should do very deep austerity. Then it is called deep faith. No, no. He should be having faith in bhakti and no other path. That is called uh, Suddrid Nishchay. Okay, like that. that Prabhupada is translated. Faith means strong faith. Strong faith means what? Not that he is very much austere. Prabhuji gets up at 2 o'clock. He completes his chanting before Mangalarti. He has been lot of strong faith. No, no. That is not definition. Strong definition is a strong faith means that person has understood that he will not need to do any jnana or karma other paths. Just bhakti, it suffice. Okay. Until here we read. So we have 7, 8 slides. So is it okay, bro, if we complete this shloka and start with fresh shloka next time? So there are 5, 6 slides. It may take 5 minutes. Anish, bro?
No problem, Prabhuji. Please continue.
Okay, Anish.
Prabhuji, I have no problem. Other devotees may have some problem.
Yeah,
as
some
it is.
devotee, if they want to leave, they can leave. No problem. They can hear the last 5 minutes and understand later. Okay. But I would like to complete this. Okay, because we can start next time because it's a 1 week gap also, no? Okay. So yeah, somebody can read.
Prabhuji, I
Yeah.
just wanted to remind devotees to mark their attendance. So,
Yeah.
ठीक है.
Yeah. Somebody can read. Yes. Jai Shri Mataji.
This is the correct way of understanding Bhagavad Gita, and this is called Shraddha. It is not that one accepts a portion of Bhagavad Gita according to his own whimsical interpretations and then rejects another portion. This is not Shraddha. Shraddha means accepting the instructions of Bhagavad Gita in their totality, especially the last instruction, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. When one becomes completely faithful in regard to these instructions, one's strong faith becomes the basis of advancing in spiritual life. When one fully engaged in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he gradually realizes his own spiritual identity. Unless one faithfully chants the Hare Krishna mantra, Krishna does not reveal himself. Sevan mukhe hi jiva do swayam eva spurate adaha. Bhakti Rasamrita 1.2.234. We cannot realize the Supreme Personality of the Godhead by any artificial means. We must engage faithfully in the service of the Lord. Such service begins with the tongue, Sevan Mukhe Hi Jiva Dav, which means that we should always chant the holy names of the Lord and accept Krishna Prasad. We should not chant or accept anything else. When this process is faithfully followed, the Supreme Lord reveals himself to the devotee. When a person realizes himself to be an eternal servitor of Krishna, he loses interest in everything but Krishna's service. Always thinking of Krishna, devising means by which to spread holy name of Krishna. He understands that his only business is in spreading the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. Such a person is to be recognized as an Uttamadhikari, and his associations should be immediately accepted according to the 6 processes, Dadati, Pratigrinati, etc. Indeed, the advanced Uttamadhikari Vaishnava devotee should be accepted as spiritual master. Everything one possesses should be offered to him, for it is enjoined that one should deliver whatever he has to be spiritual master. The brahmachari in particular is supposed to beg alms from others and offer them to the spiritual master. However, one should not imitate the behavior of an advanced devotee or Mahabhagavat without being self-realized, for by such imitation one will eventually become degraded. In this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advises the devotee to be intelligent enough to distinguish between the Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. The devotee should always his own position. The devotee should also know his own position and should not try to imitate a devotee situated on a higher platform. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given some practical hints to to the effect that an Uttamadhikari Vaishnava can be recognized by his ability to convert many fallen souls to Vaishnavism. One should not become a spiritual master unless he has attained the platform of Uttamadhikari. A neophyte Vaishnava or a Vaishnava situated on the intermediate platform can also accept disciples, but such disciples must be on the same platform, and it should be understood that they cannot advance very well towards the ultimate goal of life under his insufficient guidance. Therefore, a disciple should be careful to accept an Uttamadhikari as a spiritual master.
Thank you, Mataji. So some important points Prabhupada mentioned. Yeah, so from here we began. Yeah. Yeah, Anish, you want to speak something?
Raji, I had question, but can I ask later?
Yeah, yeah, just I will conclude this part and then you can
Yes,
take
sure.
question. Yeah. So this is the correct way of understanding Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, Prabhupada is continuing from the faith means strong faith, that point. Okay. And one should not accept a portion of it. Yeah, that all he explained. Yeah. So when one becomes completely faithful, means Shraddha Shabda Vishwas ko hai Sudrida Nishchay. Sarva karma krit hoy. That is complete faith. Means only bhakti will accomplish everything. In regard to this, one strong faith becomes the basis of advancing in spiritual life. Huh. So the strong faith is the foundation. Huh. When one fully engages in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he gradually realizes his own spiritual identity. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and that service begins with the tongue that Prabhupada described, and that two types of service are chanting and honoring prasad. Okay. Hmm. How a person can recognize Uttamadhikari? See, very, very nicely, Prabhupada has told. Always thinking of Krishna, devising means by which to spread the holy name of Krishna. He understands that his only business is spreading the Krishna consciousness all over the world. This is a way to recognize Uttamadhikari. And his association should be immediately accepted. Okay. So sometimes one may feel that only those who are preaching are Uttamadhikari because they are only thinking about Krishna. No, it is not like that. There may be people who may be not directly going for preaching, but they are inspiring thousands of preachers and giving them faith. And there may be people who are going for preaching, but they are not actually thinking about Krishna, but thinking something else. Okay. So one cannot accept them also as Uttamadhikari. So further is also mentioned in the verse, Annanindadi Shunya. They should be free of criticizing others. So we have to see that factor also. Not only that somebody is preaching. Somebody preaching, but they are blaspheming, that is not good. So you should be not criticizing others. That factor is also very important. That Rupa Goswami has added in the Shloka. Yeah. And everything one has, one should give to them, just like a brahmachari gives to the spiritual master, like that. Yeah. One should not imitate the behavior of a advanced devotee, Mahabhagavata. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now important part is that Prabhupada is concluding here now in this purport that one should be intelligent. How the Prabhupada started the verse, if you remember, one should be intelligent to discriminate among the devotees. He is ending also with the same note. So this is a very, very important quality of any person who is writing purports or commentaries. First, he will explain what is the conclusion. Last, also, he will write what is the conclusion. And in between, he will explain the conclusion. Okay. So that's Prabhupada's very authentic style, which is there in the Vedic scriptures. Okay, you should enough to distinguish between the Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. The devotee should also know his own position and should not try to imitate other devotees. Yeah. And very important point, how one should identify Uttamadhikari? By his ability to convert many, many fallen souls to Vaishnavism. Okay, convert many fallen souls to the Vaishnavism. Like that. Okay. So again, yeah, it's not like one may say, oh no, Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj, he never preached, he could never converted many people. Yeah, that is their personality, that they don't feel like going out and preaching because they feel themselves to be most fallen. So if somebody thinking oneself to be most fallen, then one cannot go out and preach. Okay. So in that case, Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj, we cannot say, oh, he is not preaching, he is not converting many, many Vaishnavas. So what will happen? He is not to be considered as a very advanced devotee or Uttamadhikari. No. See, again, we cannot just understand these things by externals. So what Rupa Goswami has done, he has mentioned 9 important symptoms of a advanced devotee. So what are the 9 symptoms he mentions? So man shunyata means utter humbleness. Priti tadvasti sthale. Okay. The desire, ardent desire to stay at a holy place. Okay. Like these 9 symptoms are described. Okay. Some other time we can discuss. Now time is not there. Yeah. So now last part Prabhupada is saying whom one should accept as spiritual master. So Prabhupada is saying therefore a disciple should accept a Uttama Adhikari. Who is Uttama Adhikari? Remember in the verse it is said Anya Nindadi Shunya Hridam Samlam. Okay, yeah. Before that, Sushrushaya Bhajana Vigya, first quality. He should be knowing the path of bhajan. Second quality, Ananya. He should be determined to follow the path. Third, Anya Nindadi Shunya. He should be devoid of criticism, criticizing others. When these 3 qualities are understood, then he is considered as a Uttam Adhikari. And a devotee should be careful to accept such a Uttam Adhikari. Okay. So that is the understanding. Yeah. So yes, we can take questions now.
Here, a neophyte Vaishnava or Vaishnava situated on intermediate platform can also accept disciples. What it means with this paragraph?
Yeah, see here, yeah, good you asked. Yeah, so this means that a neophyte or a Kanishta Vaishnava also can accept disciples, like Uttamadhikari can accept. But one has to understand with the caution that if the Guru is advanced to the Kanishta stage, then the disciple also only can go to Kanishta stage. If the Guru is advanced till Madhyama stage, disciple also can go only to that stage. If Guru is advanced to Uttama stage, disciple has the prospects of going to the Uttama stage also. Okay. But in ISKCON society, you can see there are all different types of Vaishnavas who would like to serve as Guru, and they are recognized as guru. They are blessed by their gurus also or GBC to do this service. But it is a responsibility from the disciples side to understand what level they are at. How to understand? That is mentioned in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and minutely mentioned in this verse. Okay, so Krishna iti yasya giri. So whoever is chanting the Krishna's name, they are considered as Kanishtadhikari. And Dikshasti Chet Pranativis Bhajantam Isham. If they are doing bhajan of the Lord, then they are considered as Madhyamadhikari. Okay. And then
But
third is
here,
if, yes, Prabhuji, yeah.
I have one more doubt, Prabhu. Like we see, like maybe some spiritual masters go out of ISKCON, then our devotees accept like other guru as again spiritual master. They are doing bhakti.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If, yeah, if they accept somebody else or they go out of ISKCON,
Yes, Prabhu. Like, see, like we can see earlier, like some of gurus has left the ISKCON. Then those disciples has accepted some other gurus from our ISKCON as a spiritual masters, and they are progressing bhakti. But when comes here that NAFD Vaishnava accept means, suppose if guru left, then the disciples are progressing here. They are also become sannyasis and in pure devotional service. Then how it refers for us here,
yeah,
the
means they have
NAFD
accepted somebody else's shelter, na? Yeah. So that
shelter. And
guru, yeah, they have accepted somebody else's shelter. So that is fine.
but they will
Okay.
progress as per the new guru only. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
the
they will
progression.
progress. They will progress, yeah, as per the new guru.
Means
Yeah,
Guru
that is
Parampara.
this is that is mentioned in Krishna Bhajanamrit that if guru has deviated from the principles of Krishna consciousness, then one can give him up.
This means like that we are connected to Guru Parampara, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah. We are connected to Guru Parampara, but through a different person now.
oh, I have one more doubt, Prabhu. In the initial purport, can I ask that
Yes,
regarding
Prabhuji.
Madhyama? Not
Yeah,
starting.
those devotees who are
So,
getting delayed, they can leave. Okay. Yeah. Those who have question, yeah, I can spend 5 minutes. Yeah.
it's,
Yes, Prabhuji, please tell initial purport.
the Kanishtadhikari is a neophyte who has received the Harinam initiation from the spiritual master and is trying to chant the holy name of the Krishna.
Correct.
In the same Prabhupada is mentioning in purport again in the second line, a Madhyamadhikari has received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master. That is the difference, Harinam initiation and spiritual initiation.
Yeah,
Krishna and has
Prabhupada mentioned later he is not serious in bhakti, even though he accepted Harinam initiation, but not serious in bhakti. Then
here
Prabhupada is making
spiritual
a
initiation
discrimination.
means second initiation or first initiation?
No,
That's
no.
my
The
question.
spiritual initiation means Prabhupada is saying
Yeah,
seriously he is
Madhyama.
engaged in bhakti. It may be first initiation only, but is seriously engaged in bhakti.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Any other question?
I have a question. Yeah, Prabhuji, in the book,
Yeah, please
while I
ask.
was reading, in the book, the same, this text 5, there's quoted from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Diksha Kale Bhakta Kare Atma Samarpana,
Yeah.
Sai Kale Krishna Tare Kare Atma Sama.
Atmasama.
So at the time, so at the time of initiation, when a devotee is fully surrendered to the service of Lord, Krishna accepts him to be as good as he himself. So I was little like, because
Yeah,
Krishna is
he
respecting him.
himself means what? Yeah, not that he becomes God. He accepts
Yeah.
him Atmasama. Atmasama means he considers him to be his own family. Like
Okay.
father considers son to be as good as himself, and he may hand over the
Okay.
business. Okay, it's just like he is accepting him as his own representative now.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
not that he becomes God. Okay.